What's going on there, YouTube? And welcome back to another comic book video. This is the channel where we sit down and cover different comic book stories from different comic book companies. Today, we are going to jump back over to Marvel Comics and continue our coverage over Miss Marvel. Yes, Miss Marvel Volume 3. Now, Volume 3 is actually 2 stories in one, and I want to cover both stories because both stories actually play a role in later videos down the road. Now, the first one is just a Loki one-shot story, but the one after that brings in a character that actually changes the life of Miss Marvel. And you see what I mean once we get to that story right there. But either way, if you do enjoy today's comic book video, hit that like button down below and subscribe. But here we go. Now we do jump over to Miss Marvel number 12, where we actually pick up with Loki meeting up with Odin and Freya. And the reason why, because Loki at this point in Marvel Comics was trying to be a good guy, but he was having a hard time being a good guy. I don't mean that he is going around and doing bad things. What I mean is that every mission that's given to him, he just fails. He fails every single mission. And so Freya thinks it'll be a good idea to send him down to Earth, to Midgard, but to Jersey City, the home to Miss Marvel. And the reason why, because that town has not been touched by the gods in a long time. But on top of that, because the Inventor, the bad guy in our last 2 videos that Miss Marvel actually fought and defeated, she wants to make sure there are no spies left around for him because he did mess with a bunch of teenagers. And so Loki's job is to go down there to make sure there are no more spies working for the Inventor. Now, when he gets down there, of course, he is sent to the high school that Miss Marvel goes to. But here's the problem. When Loki gets to town, he has no idea where the high school is at. And so some random man actually sends Loki to a spot where every single teenager apparently hangs out at. Of course, that is Bruno's job, the best friend to Miss Marvel. Now, this leads us right into the main idea of this storyline, because when Bruno arrives at the job that Bruno works at, he sees Bruno and Vic talking about how it is Valentine's Day, there's a big dance at the school, and Bruno wants to take Kamala Khan to the school dance because he always had a crush on her. Now, Vic tells his brother that is a bad idea because Kamala Khan doesn't even like you like that, for one, but on top of that, her parents are not going to allow her to go to a school dance with the boy, especially a boy outside of their culture. Now, on top of that, you actually have Kamala Khan come by because she's having a bad day. Bruno tries to ask her out in a friendly way to the dance, but of course, he gets turned down. Kamala Khan leaves, and this just crushes Bruno so much. And Vic leaves as well, kind of like, dude, I told you, there's no way you're going to that dance with Kamala Khan. And you have Loki seeing all of this, and he's kind of like, okay, I can fix this. He said, listen, Bruno, I'm going to help you get the girl. We're going to write her a letter. Put that letter on her pillow. She'll have no idea who wrote the letter. And that means it'll make her want to come to the school dance. And when she gets there, she'll find out it was you. And bam, y'all two will be together forever. Now, at first, Bruno is kind of down, but as the letter is being written out, the words that Loki is using are not modern language, or it's not words that are used in modern times. And so Bruno's kind of like, you sound like a creepy old man writing a letter to a teenage girl in modern time. This is going to be a bad idea. But of course, he really has no choice because Loki leaves with the letter and actually gives the letter over to Kamala Khan. Now, Kamala Khan does get the letter, and when she gets the letter, she realized that whoever wrote this letter is writing like an old man, because the words that were used in the letter are not used in modern time. Of course, remember, Loki wrote the letter, not Bruno, but Loki wrote the letter to help Bruno out. But either way, this makes Kamala Khan wanting to know who wrote the letter. And so now she is going to go to the school dance to figure out who wrote that letter. Now, of course, when Kamala Khan and her friend get to the school, they see Loki and they see Bruno. But of course, that is the moment you really see Loki do the most craziest thing to do at a high school dance, which is he poured truth serum into the school punch. And so with everyone drinking out of the punch, of course, they began to speak the truth to their dance partners, boyfriend, girlfriends, whoever, and it starts a huge mess. Now, of course, with the school going in madness, that means Kamala Khan has to change into her Miss Marvel outfit to fight against Loki, because what he did is really messed up. Now, to Loki, he's kind of like, listen, I'm just helping out. I'm trying to help these teenagers out by go ahead and speaking the truth, because they're too scared to speak the truth. Now, this does lead into a big battle between the two characters, which really is kind of funny because it's Loki going against Miss Marvel. And Miss Marvel, she's still new to this, guys. She's still a new hero at this point in Marvel Comics. And so now she must battle against Loki, who could be a really strong opponent. But because the way the story is written and Loki is trying to be a good guy, he does not really become a true challenge for Miss Marvel. Because at the end of their battle, a random teenager is able to pour him with a bunch of punch. And of course, that punch was still holding the truth serum. And so that begins the process of Loki speaking the truth about anything on his mind. Now, once their battle is actually done, you do have Loki tell Miss Marvel why he poured that truth serum in the punch. Of course, we already know why, because he was trying to help out a bunch of teenagers, but he did tell Miss Marvel that he was sent by his parents to come down to Midgard to make sure there were no spies here at the high school anymore that could be working for the Inventor. Of course, again, Miss Marvel's bad guy from the previous two videos. But after a while, you have Miss Marvel actually able to speak some sense into Loki's mind, and Loki does do a magic spell as a way to protect the school, just in case the Inventor does try to attack the school one more time or try to kidnap more teenagers from the school. But then he leaves, and you have Bruno make sure Miss Marvel's okay, and she also leaves saying goodbye to Bruno. But once again, Bruno is unable to get the girl that he actually wanted. And so we actually pick up with Miss Marvel number 13, where we see Kamala Khan right now getting some training by the Inhumans. Now remember, she just learned about the Inhumans in our last video. She had no idea she was an Inhuman until she met Medusa, the queen of the Inhumans, and now you have Medusa actually training her, which is a great thing, because when it comes to Kamala Khan, she is a new hero. She needs all hands on deck to make her better, to make her a better hero. And Medusa actually really likes Kamala Khan and sees a bright future for her down the road. Now, when Kamala Khan actually gets back home to her house, that is when she is confronted by her parents. Now, her parents tell her she needs to go upstairs and get ready. And the reason why, because they have company coming over. Some of her parents' friends have moved back from Houston to Jersey City, and they have a son as well around the same age as Kamala Khan. Now, this is not Kamala Khan's parents saying, hey, go upstairs and get ready, because their son and you could possibly get married down the road. Instead, it's them saying, go upstairs and get ready and look nice so that we do not look like a bunch of crazy people who look messy. And so when Kamala Khan goes upstairs, get ready, and comes back down and she meets the boy, she instantly falls in love, because this boy, one, looks great, but two, he is also a nerd just like her. And that is huge. Now, of course, this becomes a problem for Kamala Khan's father because this is his daughter. He's not ready for his daughter to date. And so, of course, with her now falling in love with this boy, he's kind of like, wait a second. A moment ago, you were so not down for this. And now you meet him. He's cute. He's a nerd. And now you're down for him? Hold up, no. Now you do have this boy actually ask Kamala Khan to go somewhere with her, some kind of nerdy place. And of course she says yes, but her dad says no. But then she says, fine, can I bring my brother along to be kind of like a chaperone to make sure we do not do anything that you may not like us to do. And so of course her father says yes, but we all know her father is like, I really do not like my daughter going out with a boy, even with her brother around. Now the boy name is Kamran, and I really hope I pronounce his name correctly, but either way, you do have Kamran and Kamala walking to their destination, but beginning to like each other even more. There is even a moment where they're about to hold hands, and you're kind of like, wait, are they going to be a couple? But of course, with Kamala Khan's brother Amir being there, he shuts that down so fast, man, it's not even funny at all. He's being that good big brother. He's like, nah, there ain't no way my little sister is going to have a boyfriend at the age of 16, even though most teenage girls usually do. And of course, wherever Miss Marvel goes, there is always trouble nearby. And so with that, we get our first look of Kaboom. Now Kaboom, of course, is a new character made just for this book and the next book after, but to also be a new villain for Miss Marvel to add to her rogue gallery. Now, Kaboom is actually Inhuman as well, just like Miss Marvel. Matter of fact, Miss Marvel learns that when she does change into her Miss Marvel outfit to go out there to fight Kaboom. But once she gets out there to fight against Kaboom, and Kaboom tells her that, like, yeah, hey, I am also Inhuman just like you, Miss Marvel is confused because to her, Medusa is the queen to all Inhumans. And so why is Kaboom out here attacking innocent people? Matter of fact, regular humans that she says she does not like. Why is she doing that? And this leads into a big lesson for Miss Marvel because she had no idea there are multiple fractions out there when it comes to the Inhumans, different groups across the world, and not all groups actually listen to Black Bolt nor Medusa. They have their own rules, their own leaders. They do not follow under Black Bolt nor Medusa. And so you have Kaboom saying, I'm in a different group of Inhumans. I follow a different group that is going to lead our race in the correct direction and get rid of the human beings. And so with that being said, you have Miss Marvel and Kaboom actually fight against each other. They do go back and forth for a while, and it does last for a good few moments. But after a while, you actually do have Kamala Khan being able to defeat Kaboom. But when she does, she kind of hits Kaboom a little bit too hard. And that is when you have Kamala Khan realize she has to watch how she uses her powers, because if she uses her full strength, she can actually possibly kill someone down the road. She needs to hold her punches. But either way, she has to leave the scene after defeating Kaboom because her brother Amir and her date Kamran are looking for her. Now here comes the big moment, because you actually do have Kamala Khan change back into her regular clothes to go meet back up with her brother and Kamran. But here's the problem. Kamran actually saw her change, so he knows that she is Miss Marvel. And so he said, hey Amir, can I talk to your sister Kamala just for a tad second by ourselves? And he does pull her over to the side to tell her, hey, I saw you change into Miss Marvel. I know who you are. And Kamala Khan freaks out a tad bit because she knew sooner or later someone was going to figure out that she was Miss Marvel. But that is not the big moment of this part right here. The big moment is you have Kamran reveal that he is also an Inhuman just like her. he has his own set of powers. Now, you do have Cameron explain to Kamala Khan when he got his powers, and he says that he left his window open the same night Kamala Khan was outside, and that is the moment when the Terrigen Mist actually went through his window and got him, and of course, turned him into an Inhuman. But before he is actually able to explain more or about his powers to Kamala Khan, Amir, the brother to Kamala Khan, says, "Date's over, we're all going home, I'm done, let's go." And so of course they all go home. But of course, the next moment is at nighttime, and we see Kamran come by Kamala's place to actually take her out, make her sneak out at night so that they are able to have a one-on-one conversation. And he does take her to a water tower that apparently she just kind of went by but never used her powers to sit on top of it, because when they go there, they do get this great view, which makes things very romantic for both characters. Now, this is the moment where you actually have Kamala Khan ask Cameron, can he explain his powers to her? Like, how does his powers work? And honestly, I kind of say he's kind of like Gambit, but a tad bit different, because he's able to make things explode, but he has to make things charge up, just like Gambit does over in the X-Men comics. But either way, this is kind of the beginning of Kamala Khan saying, maybe I have a boyfriend now. Maybe I can be with this person. And matter of fact, they almost kiss. They literally almost kiss. But once again, their moment is ruined for them because the police arrive and they're kind of like, hey, you guys cannot be on top of the water tower. You need to leave. And so they go home. Now, we do jump forward to the next day where we actually pick up with Kamala Khan and Amir waiting for the bus. Of course, Kamala Khan is going to school and Amir has an interview. Now, they are confronted by Bruno, but before that conversation can begin and go on, that is the moment where you have Kamar pop up in a car and offering Kamala Khan a ride to school. Now, Amir and Bruno both say no, but for different reasons. Bruno says no because he really likes Kamala Khan. Amir says no because, well, he is the big brother. But either way, you have Kamala Khan get in the car with Kamar and they drive off. Now, this is a big moment for Bruno, and the reason why, because when it comes to Amir, he knows that Bruno likes his sister Kamala Khan, but he has to explain to Bruno there is no way him and Kamala Khan will get together because, again, her parents will not allow it. She cannot date boys, especially boys outside of their culture, and so Amir is just shutting down the dream that Bruno had for him and Kamala down the road. Now, you do have Kamala Khan realize that Kamar is not a good guy. And the reason why I say that is because you have Kamar take Kamala Khan to the pier, not to school, like she's supposed to be at right now. And so Kamala Khan realized something is up. And you have Kamar say that he wants Kamala Khan to meet someone. Now, of course, she says no, but Kamala Khan learns more about Kamar because Kamar says that he believes that Kaboom was correct, that the Inhumans should take over the earth, that humans do not belong here. And so, of course, he's a bad guy. Now, Kamala Khan tries to leave, but Kamar was able to send a small shock or a small explosion just big enough to knock out Kamala Khan so that he can take her in and take her to meet his boss. And so when she wakes up, she's now somewhere in some kind of basement locked up, and she's wondering, where in the world am I? Why am I here? What in the world is going on? And so when she breaks out of her prison, of course, she does meet a bunch of bodyguards, and these bodyguards do not really stand a chance against her because it's Miss Marvel. She knows how to use her powers now to fight against certain people. But after a few pages of mayhem of her fighting against these different bodyguards, she does run into a room where she does see Kamar, Kaboom together, but with their leader, and his name is Lineage. And this is the moment we learn a tad bit more about Lineage, Kaboom, and Kamar. Now we do jump over to Miss Marvel number 15, and when we do, it is Kamala Khan getting the chance to actually learn more about Lineage at this moment right here. And you have Lineage tell her that he is trying to change things across the world for all Inhumans, especially here at the new Inhuman home, of course known as New Attilan. Now he does mention that Medusa, the Queen of Inhumans, and Black Bolt, the King of Inhumans, they're just not the right people to be in charge of all Inhumans. And so really, it is him hoping that he can take their place, but also change the world all over for the Inhumans. Now, he does tell Kamala Khan that she is actually very powerful, but then you have Kamala Khan asking him, can she make one quick phone call? Now, of course, she does call Bruno, which makes sense because him and her have a code where she calls his phone, it rings twice, and then she hangs up. That tells him that she's in danger. And so Bruno leaves class to go find his best friend because they're best friends, they have each other's locations on their phones. And so he is hoping that can help him find her and actually save her. At the meantime, she realized she might need to buy some time so that Bruno can come save her. And so, of course, she does cause a scene to run away from Lineage, Kerman, and also Kaboom. I forgot her name. Wow, Kaboom. And so the next few pages really jump back and forth between Kamala Khan and Bruno, where you have Bruno trying to find the location of Kamala Khan. Now he is lucky to find her location, and he realized where she's at right now. She's on New Attilan. Here's the problem. New Attilan, the main home for all Inhumans, is in the middle of the river in New York. And so now he needs a boat to just get there. But at the same time, Kamala Khan, well, she is trying to find a way out, but she runs into Kaboom. And so now she needs to lose Kaboom. And what she does is she takes Kaboom into the same room Medusa used as a way to train Kamala Khan. We saw this at the very beginning of our video, but either way, you have Kamala Khan use this room to keep Kaboom busy so that she can continue to find a way out of here. And right after that, she does run into Cameron, and that is a huge problem because for her, Cameron was this dream guy, this guy that she was going to date, this guy who she fell madly in love with because he liked everything she liked. He understood what it felt like to be in the culture as a teenager. He understood her so well, but of course it was all a lie. And so now she must fight against this guy and hopefully beat him. And so of course we do get a big fight between these two characters for the next few pages. They go back and forth, but at the end, Kamala Khan is actually able to defeat the guy who she thought would be her future boyfriend or husband, whoever. She was actually able to get rid of him. Now you do have Lineage being able to catch up to Cameron, and he tells him, let Kamala Khan go. Now for Cameron, he's kind of like, what do you mean let her go? You said we need her because how powerful she is. And that is the moment you have Lineage say, yes, she is powerful, but there is someone else in her family just as powerful, meaning that there is someone else in her family that is also Inhuman, and that means that person could possibly be taken by Lineage down the road. Now, really, the story kind of ends on that note right there because you do have Kamala Khan being able to find Bruno, and they do go out the garbage disposal that leads them back into the river. So they did find a way out, but that's how the book ends, with the two of them being able to go back home to see another day. And honestly, the next volume is known as The Last Days of Miss Marvel. And what that means is it takes place right before 2015 Secret Wars, which we are covering right now at this moment. And so you're going to see what happens really at the end of that event in our next video for Miss Marvel. But either way, if you did enjoy today's comic book video, hit that like button down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoyed today's comic book video.